Oh, shit! Ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and fellow Tower of God, Season 2, Part 2, Core 2 enjoyers. We are back, me and the hairline,
Yo.
to react to and give our opinion of and compare it to the manhwa of episode 14 of Tower of God, the anime edition. So this time we just reacted to the ending, but we decided to do that in a separate video. So for all of those who were waiting for a reaction to the ending, that should be up decently soon, if not already. But it is separate. I know I said we were going to do it in the same video, but we decided against it. But we have seen the ending, and now, unlike the first half of Season 2, there's nothing in the ending that's pretty much going to change. So we are not really going to go through it, because, again, we already saw it. It is cool, though. But regardless, now we get into the brass tacks of the actual episode, meeting the Traveler. And we just have Dan with the gun here. So, you want to go first, Adrian? You want me to go first? What do you want to do?
I can go first. I can just get us started. Maybe we'll have a little back and forth.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So, what did I think about this episode? Well, I thought it looked like the quality went up just a tad in terms of like combat and stuff like that. It felt like things were looking a little smoother. Specifically when Bomb attacked the first dude in the beginning when he was saving the Traveler. I think that looked smoother than usual. It wasn't the best, but it looked smoother, and the way that they were running too, like I feel like Dan ran pretty goofy, like when he was running in the beginning of season 2, but when they were running there, they looked a little bit better. Still elements of goofy animation, okay, fine, but this part of the story is just so good that like even with the animation like a little like goofy, like I still had a really good time watching this episode because I'm hyped for like the story. I think the story is what's getting me now because this is the part of the anime where like things start getting serious. What else is there?
God fucking damn it, keep on pausing it, sorry.
Trying to think. Oh, you can just mute it then so it just doesn't make the sound.
Oh, that's true.
If
yeah.
it plays. So
I don't want to play it either. I don't want to play it because I don't want to get.
Well, I like the way they
striked.
explained the game. I thought that was pretty good. Although I think they might have had some issues here. I was talking to Chris about it, that they said if you shoot someone, or first of all, they say you can only get the light and dark mode when you first shoot, when you do your first shot.
Yeah,
After the first shot, the selection lever is activated. I don't think that's true. I think off the rip, you can choose to do the dark mode or the light mode because I think that's just how it is in the manual.
Yeah,
we'll see it when we read it.
We don't want to say too much,
confirm.
but
yeah, I don't want to say anything. I'm not gonna but I'm pretty sure the rules they changed a little bit, or maybe they misread them.
It could be a mistranslation as well.
Could be a mistranslation, but we'll see. But I do like the way they animated it. I think this is one of the things that's cool about an anime, where it's like you can kind of show the rules better when you have like this in front of you rather than just like reading a whole paragraph of like how this whole thing works.
Yes.
Again, this isn't the most tricky Tower of God game or whatever, but it definitely helps. And there will be a lot more in the future that'll be tricky. I'm actually glad you put that up there. One of my favorite things about this episode, this is such a weird thing to be happy about, is that like they gave the blood Tamara like an actual shape. Like now we know what it looks like.
Yeah, we'll really show it off in the manhwa too.
Yeah, anime onlys are about to find out, but yeah, it's kind of cool to give the blood Tamara like something to refer it to, something that like you can see physically.
Yeah.
Bong Bong looks all right. Yeah, I don't know. All in all, I'm kind of like picking things here and there, but I like this episode, and it gave me a feeling that like when the episode ended, I was sad because I wanted to watch more. So I think that's a good sign. A knock looked amazing. Big fan of that.
Oh yes.
I can't wait for the next episode.
Oh shit.
That's pretty much it for me.
Okay.
And we'll go to the anime after you're done with your part.
All right. So for me, there's a little bit of caveats I have to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I stream, as some people might know, at Twitch TV/Tecnics channel. Now, excuse me, that is not a part of the stream, hopefully. But when I stream, I have some viewers come in and we talk about Tower of God because it's a great place to be if you want to talk about Tower of God or anything. But one of the things that I've been hearing, and one of the things that has kind of been purveying around, is that part 2 of the anime is going to be a little bit different than part 1. And I've heard some crazy things like, oh, this was made first, or this is higher quality than the first half. And, similar to Avengers Endgame, it's like the scene with Hawkeye where I was like, don't tell me these things. Don't give me hope, right? I'm already like in my hole. I already know what to expect. I don't want to get surprised and then get let down. But, I was going into this with a little bit of expectations, and I think first and foremost, I think the pacing is really good, right? It's fast, but it's like we got to see with the manual, but from just a general first watch through of it, and again, right, it's not great. It's not where it should be. I don't want to ever give that impression that, this is good and I'm satisfied with it, but obviously we're just comparing it to what it is, like we always say. But I feel like the pacing is really good. Like I'm never feeling bored. I'm never feeling like, oh, this is a dull moment. What's going on, right? Now that could be like Adrian said, because we're in a really good part now. Now things are starting to heat up, right? We're getting to the workshop stuff. But in general, I feel like the pacing for this episode was nice. Some of it was obviously set up. We had some nice moments, but maybe it's because my mind has adapted to not really caring for the fights that much, even though the fights were okay. I mean, can we call it a fight if it's like 2 seconds of like battling, where it's like, look at what Bomb did to these things in the beginning, right? Bomb quote unquote fought them, but it was just him one shotting them. It's like, okay, cool. Now, granted, it wasn't as egregious as the Quattro fight. Thankfully, I hope nothing will be ever again. But it's like, this wasn't too bad here. This was all right. But overall, I mean, I feel like something like this too, right? With how they explained the one shot, one opportunity game, the visuals are so like I was like, holy shit! Like this is 3D. This is cool as shit. I was like, wow,
Yeah, it looked
right?
funny. Yeah.
And again, what you said with the blood to Mary, like, look at this. This looks cool. It's like front and center. It looks like a fucking Plorbus or whatever the fuck from Rick and
Yeah.
Morty a little bit. But
Makes you wonder what these things can do.
yeah, like, oh, I wonder, right? I think they showed them off a lot better. Like, and this is what the anime is for, right? It's here to show stuff like
Mm-hmm.
this better. This looks better. Hopefully, maybe I'll see the manhwa and decide differently because it has been a while. But overall pacing was really good, and something in the beginning caught my eye here too. So this wasn't in part one, and I'm like, oh, what is this? And I'm gonna play this out here.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? I never saw this before. This shit looks cool.
Yeah. Now they're involved. Like, what's going
Yeah,
on?
like maybe this really is different from like the first half, but
Mm-hmm.
overall I'm decently excited. Again, it's not good, but I didn't notice any severe dips in quality. Actually, I did once or twice. Once or twice when people are in like the background, and I'm trying to remember if I could find a specific instance of it, but there was times where people in the background and their faces are like a little weird. But in this episode alone, right, we got some chibi faces, which I always love. Like right here when Bomb did the thing, he has this face right here, which I thought was absolutely lovely. Like, look at that. Bob's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
that's good.
Like, it was decently varied. I was like, okay, cool. And we had close up shots of Kun, which always look good. Like Kun's face is beautiful. I love Kun. I want to kiss him. But a lot of the times I didn't notice too much stuff that looked bad. There was once or twice where characters weren't focused on, but at that point it's understandable. But in general, like it was not that bad. There was a part here with Ren though where Ren looked a little weird. Like right here, I was like, oh, what is this? This looks weird. His eyes are unaligned, number one, but two, it's like the angle his face is was weird. But this view right here, like of a knock, this shit was beautiful. Like, oh my god, this got me so hyped. Like it's
Yeah.
no ordinary
She's
regular.
just staring at them too.
Yeah, and they know it, and they're like, "Why is she here?" Well, we know why she's here, right? She's here to cause a ruckus, but it's like, look at her. She's staring them down. Like, man, if you're an Anak like person, you're getting hyped up right now because I am, and I like it. Oh my god! But overall, I mean, so far, I think just the average has gone up in terms of like everything. I think
Mm-hmm.
average just plot development, pacing, general polish, I think it's gone up. Fights, I'm a little scared to say because again, the fights we had were like 2 seconds long. But the only other thing that kind of really bothered me with this episode was right here at the end where Endorsi came in. She just kind of floated down, and I'll play it out here, right? Like, okay, it doesn't look right how she busted through that, but why is she just floating down T pose?
Yeah, that was a hard T pose. I was thinking
Like,
the same thing.
it's like, what the hell? That's not how you bust through a floor. But, she's excited. I'm excited. Overall, I think, again, the quality overall has gone up slightly, just averaged out across everything. and that's good. Maybe I'm just believing in copium, but I enjoyed this episode. I didn't greatly love it. I definitely didn't hate it. I think it was good. I'll leave it at it was good. But yeah, that's what I thought. So
Hmm.
now we will get into the section of the manhwa comparison. So as with last time, last episode, the same thing happened where we kind of couldn't show some stuff because they do change the order of things. So we don't want to spoil you guys for the next episode. So sadly, last one we had to cut it short a little bit too. But we'll go over the stuff here too. But yeah, so here we're picking off from Kun and Hwaryun promising each other like, hey, we can't tell anyone what's happening. And this is kind of the part we stopped at. We didn't show the first team kind of doing their thing, Anak and Shibisu. I don't think they even included this. Did they? I don't
I
remember.
don't know.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't think
remember if
so.
they included this, but here we have this shit, because this shit we didn't
Mhm.
show. Did we
This
show
is from the
this?
last episode. So this is
Yeah,
when they were removing the feet
yeah, the
cuffs. You don't have to skip
shackles.
it super fast, but like yeah, this is stuff that we missed because we were afraid of
Spoiling.
spoiling. And this is
Yeah.
where the last episode ended, where Bomb was looking over. He sees the Traveler running.
Yeah.
Note that the Traveler's carrying
A
what looks like
spear or sword or whatever.
uh a lot of people compared him to Ichigo, saying that he's holding like Ichigo's
Yeah,
sword.
it did look like that.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
like
it's a nod to it.
honest, I think yeah, I think Traveler was like modeled after Ichigo.
Yeah, because he has the same hair color too.
Yeah,
He's just not
I
as
think there is
tall,
some
but
influence there.
yeah, like look,
Like, look at the sword. Like,
yeah, holy shit, it's
it's
like discount
100% Ichigo.
Ichigo. What the hell?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't think he has that in the anime though. I think he's just running without a sword, if
I,
I'm not mistaken.
I believe he is. I mean, we could
Yeah,
check
he's just
really.
jogging.
Yeah, he has nothing with
I
him.
would have noticed if he had the like his Zanpakuto with him.
But one thing I'll say is the enemies look a lot more scarier. It's
Yeah, they
like,
look
oh
more
shit.
sinister and like they're chasing him way faster.
Yeah, that's one thing I feel like the anime doesn't do too well. Number one, it's perspective. It's like sizing.
Hmm.
Number two, it's speed. I feel like speed they don't do too well because there was some shots of characters running right here in the forest too, and there was some times where it's like they just showed nothing. Like right here, they just
Yeah.
showed like okay, what the? It doesn't even feel like we're going fast. Like obviously they have the speed lines, but this doesn't
Hmm.
look fast. And then when they're running, it's
Yeah.
like it's all right, but it
Hmm.
doesn't feel like they're going fast. But it's
Yeah, like it can be done much better. I agree. That's why I was a bit happy when like they first showed Bomb running in the beginning of the episode. It looks much smoother.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know why they change it up or whatever. Like they just need to stick to something or like improve it, do how they did in the beginning there, and just go from
yeah.
that.
It
But
is
yeah.
what it is, though. But here we
Hmm.
get into Bomb, seeing the Traveler. So they're just repeating the thing. But here, Bomb's gonna help him. So here he's going into the corner again with his Zanpakuto here, without it in the anime. So here they kind of showed it as like, oh, they lost him and then they surprised him. Here it's kind of a lot quicker. Bomb comes in. He's casually one-shotting one of them, right? So I think in the anime they kind of did it. I don't want to say a little bit better, but Bomb kind of came in from above, right?
Yeah.
I think the manhwa. Actually, I don't know. If
So
you
the
like
manhwa makes
to,
it look more effortless for
yeah,
Bomb, whereas the anime makes it seem like Bomb had to, he kind of had to pull out more Shinsu to get the job done.
yeah, he came in like from above too, like he's being surrounded
It
on
was more
both sides.
dramatic. Hmm.
There's more substance, but it's done differently. So the anime had more of a fight, ironically enough, even though it was very short, regardless. But
Hmm.
it was more of a struggle. The manhwa, I think, made Bomb look more epic. Like he's strong here.
Yeah, and thematically, I think the manhwa, of course, is
It's the
like makes more
source.
sense. But I think
Yeah,
it's better, yeah, because it's the source, obviously. But the reason is because these were actually lower level, um, what are they called? Like robots, I guess you could say.
yeah, like
So once you
guards.
destroy them, as Traveler mentions later, they get the bigger ones to go after you.
Yeah,
So it makes sense that Bomb was able to dispatch them easily. But if they want to add a little flair to it, I don't mind.
yeah. I think the Shinsu looked good too. Like the Shinsu definitely looked
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
it looked
It's
alright.
still not like episode like I don't know what they did, but like episode one, do you remember like the first episode where Bomb just had like the Shinsu in his hands when he like blew everything up?
Yeah, it was
You know what I'm talking about?
emanating.
Yeah, and it had like I don't know, it just looked different, and they just never do it that way ever again, which
Yeah, I
kind of
don't
makes
know
me sad.
why.
But
It's dumb.
eh, It's not bad, the Shih Tzu, but it's just like they've showed me something better, so now I want that, you know?
Huh, yeah,
I don't want them to go back.
of course. But here we have the same sort of face, which I'm glad they kept. I think manhwa does it obviously better, but I'm glad they did keep it in the anime.
Yeah.
Here's
I will give them
where,
credit for all of the chibi things, like,
yeah,
throughout the entire, like, series, they've been doing them pretty well
yeah,
when
they're
they do
keeping
decide to
it.
do them.
They're not letting it
Mhm.
go, which is nice. But here, Traveler's like, oh yeah, the big one's coming, and then they see it. There it is, looking pretty cool here. This is where again, there's actually I think less detail here in the manhwa, which there doesn't
I'd say
need to
there's
be,
more
right?
context because look, the blue dog is given its name and its level and what have
I
you,
mean,
but
we
in
did get this in the anime too.
the anime they just say it,
Yeah,
and it's said pretty quick, so you could probably miss out on that if you're not paying close attention.
yeah, but environment-wise, I think the anime kind of does it better here because there's sometimes where it looks very plain. I think the
Yeah,
anime
that's
does a
fair.
decent job here.
Hmm.
Here we see the underground place, which again I think it looks really plain here. Anime adds I think a little bit more of detail, not crazy amounts, but it's not bad essentially. Like there's more of a background here, which again there doesn't need to be, but I think it adds, and the clouds look nice too. Like in the
Hmm.
manga, or manhwa, it feels like it's a lot less at some points, which I'm happy we're getting to those parts. But here we get to the bunker. We're gonna, and, the general vibe is it's darker too. But here we're gonna have bombs set up the claymore, right? And travelers explain to him like
Hmm.
what's going on, how they send higher level things, and then we get the interviews here too, right?
Hmm.
People are interviewing in Dorsey, and oh my god, wow, it looks so cool, holy shit.
Oh, it looks like
Now,
the others are here too when this is happening.
yeah, I was about to say like we didn't know where they were, and we heard okay, there they're on TV. But they didn't show them like on the camera there. And the Endorsey thing I think was also with Shibisu. They interviewed Shibisu as well
Yeah,
in
but
the
they're
anime.
interviewing them separately. Yeah, so there was only
Yeah.
one person on the camera at a time.
But here, Kun is cringing because we have the two Endorsey glazers here.
Hmm.
And this is pretty fun. So he's like, "Yo, why are you in my room?" And he's like, "Oh, you ate my food." And obviously Kun bought it. And here we're getting the interview with Shibisu, so this looks pretty good. Um, and here I think the interview is actually different what they asked him, isn't it? From the anime?
What was the question they said?
I forgot. Uh oh no, that's
Mm.
Wangnan speaking.
Oh, they're
Oh.
asking him like general questions during his interview.
Yeah.
But
So
then they mentioned
Quantum
something about
Venture.
Jovial Grace. Oh, there it
Oh,
is, where
there
he
it is.
says
Okay,
Jovial
never
Grace, I
mind.
don't
We
really
got to it.
care.
Yep.
And then Kun says, "Oh,
He's
he's
still
bad at
bad at lying.
lying.
Yeah.
Whatever."
And then this is
Then we
where the
cut
game
out.
just starts. So the
Hmm.
workshop is like, all right, it's time. So they don't show who it is yet, because Io is one of the hosts. So
Hmm.
they don't show yet. Here we have the whole other squad chilling. They show that in the anime as well in a different way. Anak isn't really laying down or anything. But Hots is always on Lore duty, which is
On Laria
hilarious.
duty. Yeah.
But here they're explaining the rules, so we're gonna see the comparison here. They show the 248 tickets. Oh,
I
look at
like this split a
Jaja!
lot.
Look at
I wish they did
Jaja!
this more.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
splitting, like showing the views like that.
they could do it all at once on the same screen, but they just did it like one after another when it did happen. Because
Yeah.
here they do show everyone, but Jaja's not in her like PJs, which is
PJs.
really sad.
And if they do it
Oh
where they're gonna
my,
show one image per like and like flash them like that, they should I don't know, they should make them look better, I think.
yeah.
Like they look too casual.
I mean, I
They
don't
didn't look that
necessarily.
cool. Like or maybe show more people or I don't know.
I
It's
don't think
just
it
there's
looks
something
bad.
I don't know, is it just me or is it feels like there's a big difference between like the way that the manhwa does it and the way that the anime does it. The anime seems too casual, whereas like the manhwa kind of shows like I don't know.
I don't
There's
know.
something there.
I don't feel like it's a problem here
There's
because
like a sense
here,
of urgency. They're like, oh shit, like this thing's just starting, and like we got to pay attention, focus up, lock in.
yeah. I mean, I'm
It
mostly
feels more
comparing it.
casual on
I'm
the
comparing
anime.
it to the Chang and Quattro one, right? Here, like they look good, even though I don't like Chang's design here, right? I think he looks
Yeah.
too young. I like I like it better than the mono here. Like the mono here, you
Oh,
barely
that's
see like
true.
Chang and Quattro here.
That's true.
And it's like here you see Missing, and Missing's by herself, but in the anime she's with Verdi. Now I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense lore wise, but I think it's nice. I think the anime did it like all right.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did it
Yeah,
all
I
right.
guess I'll keep that one in my pocket then.
Okay. But here, they're explaining more, and then everyone's like, oh shit, oh my god, right? And then they give them the Glocks, and, they explain the game, and it's time to go shoot some people. I like how even in the manhwa, though, they made it themed. They're like, oh, there's some bullet shots in the text now, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. So here, sadly, they didn't really emphasize that there's a claymore there. It's just kind of like a weird
Yeah.
little bomb thing. In the anime, they legit just had a claymore. It's like, what the fuck? One shot, one opportunity. So I think just overall from right here off rip, I think they showed it better in the anime. The anime had like a nicer visual.
Mm-hmm.
Because right here, it's like, just still panels. I think here is the perfect place to have it animated, and they did it well, right? It was some
Yeah,
weird
I
3D
agree.
shit, but weird in a good way, not weird in a
Mm-hmm.
bad way.
Now I
But
want to make
here,
sure if they did this right. Okay, look, the control handle can be set to dark or light mode. So you see, you don't have to do the first shot.
no, it says add more than 2 bullets. So
Oh,
it's
so you need
different.
more than 2 bullets in order to
Yeah.
use
So they did
the
change
handle.
it.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay, where they said it, maybe it's a translation error. I think it could be a translation error, but
Yeah,
they
because they
said
said after
after
the
your
first
first
shot.
shot. That could imply like after you like, oh, if you get your second shot loaded in, now you can do it. Like
Yeah.
you could argue that they said it right there.
Yep.
It's a
I,
translation thing.
it probably is a
Okay,
translation error, but either
so that
way,
makes sense.
yeah. So no matter how many bullets you might have, you can only shoot with the control hand in the dark mode, and if you miss, you fail the test right away. So a little bit of more of an explanation, but
Mm-hmm.
here is the big difference, right?
Yep.
So on the left here, we see the blood Tamara, or what I guess they're showing it with,
What
which is
represents the blood Tamara? Yeah.
yeah, which is like some weird like demon guy with just a bloody fucking sword thing. And on the right, obviously, is the white heavenly mirror, which is represented by a heavenly angel holding a,
Mm-hmm.
you guessed it, mirror. So
Yep.
that's one thing like I was confused about. I was like, what is a tamara? Because they're kind of showing like this weird fruit thing. I was like, oh, is a tamara a real thing? And I didn't really know. But I like the
Now I
way
have to look
the
it
the
up.
manhwa did it too. I don't think it's necessarily bad. In some ways, it's probably better. But this is pretty good. I like that the anime tried to at least show it as an item. But I think this is more epic. If they did this and they did it right, it would have been better. But either way, here they show the bong bong. So the bong bong they kind of kept under wraps because right now all they're showing is just the little like light with a ring around it. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, what is the bong bong? Right? We don't even know how it looks. In the
Yeah.
anime, they legit just straight up showed that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I
like this
think.
is the bong bong, and it kind of
What do
looks
you
like
think about
shit.
that? What do you think about like showing these things early instead of like showing it as like a surprise later on, which is what the manhwa does? Because the manhwa doesn't show you them, I think, by design. Like they're
Yeah.
intentionally not showing you what these items are until they're revealed afterwards when
Well, do we even
whoever
know in the
sees them.
manga what the blood Tamara even looks like?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's like they at least did try to do something, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is where obviously we know what the white heavenly mirror looks like. That's 1-to-1, and we'll just say
Mm-hmm.
that right now. Blood Tamara, I think they took some liberties, but I think that's fine considering we'd never really see it anyway. I could be wrong about that, but I think I'm not. But
Yeah.
I don't like that they showed the bong bong, and I don't like the way the bong bong looks. It looks too wiener. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully they do the bong bong good, because some of the best scenes in the manhwa that we're eventually gonna get to is endorsed or people using the bong bong, right? Now, this is where the bong bong is fucking amazing. Like, this thing, you can't see it right now, but it is so good. And if they ruin it, which I think they will, it's just gonna be upsetting because I already don't like how it looks. I think it looks like shit. But
Mm-hmm.
overall, I think it's a different sort of pacing though, because the anime is going so fast with the pacing. I think it's fine to show it because in the manhwa, you take more time to sort of get to these things because they have just a lot of details in between, and because of that, I think it's fine to show in the anime because it's going so fast. In the manhwa, we have more time to simmer with it, which I
Mm-hmm.
think is fine. I think it's good to keep it hidden there, but show it in the anime. Also,
Yeah.
what the fuck is on
Yeah, I
Dan's
was just about to
shirt?
point that out. I was like, oh,
Holy shit!
no wonder they didn't change his shirt. For one, they don't like changing people's outfits in this anime. I've noticed because I guess they don't like to
Saving
animate it.
budget.
But yeah, they definitely didn't give him that sweater, which whatever. I wonder what the animators did when they saw us. Like, can we
Yeah, we
move this?
can't have this in. But yeah, so here they're showing some more visuals, which I think is nice, right? This is specific to the mon where they're showing more detailed visuals of other shit. Obviously, wow, I
Yeah.
wonder what that is, right? We still don't know.
This is like Kuhn's inner monologue that we're listening in on, like him thinking about how to play this game,
Yeah,
which I
so
think he goes over a little bit, but not as in depth here because
they're not showing
one,
the images.
yeah, for that, and then also the fact that the anime is kind of going fast because they have a tight schedule, so they don't
Yeah,
really have time to slow things down and give us Kuhn's like thoughts. So it
yeah,
kind of goes right into the action where he says a little bit of what he's thinking about, I believe, but it doesn't go too much into the weeds, which is fine. I
yeah.
mean,
Now
I get it.
here is a little bit of a difference, right? This is where they
Mm-hmm.
kind of did something different here. In the
Mm-hmm.
manhwa, they showed Kun seeing the people coming,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, "Oh, I should get some bullets." In the anime, they didn't show this, and you just see Kun like point the gun at Wangnan, and I think that's a little bit nicer
Well,
of an effect because you're like,
if
"Oh
you're
shit."
they show it kind of because his lighthouse pops up and he looks at it, but then they don't say anything else after that.
They didn't show the people coming,
Yeah, they didn't
right?
show them coming. Yeah.
So I think it's a lot more like anime enjoyers who are like, "Oh, what the fuck is Kun doing?" Like it's more of like a thing of like, "Wow." It's not a big deal, but maybe they didn't include it because of pacing. Who knows? But I like the fact that they didn't show the people coming. It was more like, "Oh, what is Kun doing?" Right?
Yeah, I
Like
like it.
the only hint you had was the lighthouse popping up, and that's it. And here again, I think the manhwa just does great with the details. You see Wang Nan's eyes, beautiful, as well as Kun just pointing it in his face, sticking him up. Safety removed, and then he's screaming, right? The people come in, and, well, they're going to come in next chapter, but you can see where we're going kind of fast. Oh,
Wait, was
shit.
that the next chapter? I think you skipped a bit much. I think that was the opening of the chapter, right?
No, that was all of it.
Was that the end?
Oh, no, I was
No, look,
wrong.
there's more. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, no, I'm stupid. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that was a long beginning. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so here they're, I thought that was the end. Wow, I was like, damn, that's why they're moving so fast. But yeah, so here they tied them up. They took their bullets. Wang Nan's like, "Holy shit, you fucking scared the shit out of me." In the anime, they did show Kun kind of jumping them. Like they showed Kun like palming them or whatever to knock them out. Here in the manhwa, they just kind of showed them like catching them. We don't see how they
Mm-hmm.
got them.
Like
We
it
can
already
kind of assume.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah. And then here, he's like, "Oh, we had to make it realistic." Here we see Gosang. We don't see much of this, and I'm assuming that's Arc Raptor too. We don't
Mm-hmm.
really see where they are in the anime, but again, I'm assuming that's because of pacing issues. Even though Wangnan does say like, "Oh, they ditched me," right? But here, Kun's like, "Oh, let's do something a little crazy." So we don't know what that is yet. But here we go back to Shibisu's team. I
Biscu's
think
team.
this looks way better already than what they did in the anime. This has like I don't want to say if it has more detail or not, because obviously in the anime it had like more of a background. But
Yeah.
I think the view, like the POV that we got here
Yeah.
is a
The
lot
bird's
better.
eye. Mm-hmm.
So here, they're running, and then they find Endorsi, which I think this scene in general just looks way better in the manhwa right now. Like, look, oh no, they got them, they beat them up. Oh no. And then obviously, they explain some of this through Endorsi, but also in the manhwa, you just as always get more details. So they join games to get information. So they're literally doing this test to spy on Endorsi and get a shot of her pantaloons. But here we find out that they're giving up their bullets. This is that, and we find out that they're gonna go after Fug. So that's kind of where we saw the next panel. The next chapter, how that starts. Here, Kun looks a little different though. I think Kun looks a lot more unique, a lot more maybe serious as well. In the anime, he looks more generic, kind of similar to what happened with Ran and Maya. Like here, he looks fine, right? But this is very different from how he looks here. Here he looks more pronounced, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, "Oh, what do we do?" And he's like, "You know what? We gotta deal with Fug. Time to hunt Fug."
Mm-hmm.
And this looks way more epic,
Dude,
right?
Shibisu takes the lead. Yeah, like
Yeah.
this is a big moment for Shibisu.
Like they're all looking at him, they're like, "Oh shit," right? And he's like, "Yeah, let's fucking do it." Now Shibisu's like he's a
Yeah.
little bit of a boss
It
man
shows how
here.
different he is from season one. Well, I mean, he was always kind of like a leader, but he was, kind of like pushed to the side a lot and very jokative. But and he still is like that. But when things get serious, Shibisu's the leader for a reason, and we're learning that here in season two.
Yeah.
Mostly through the a lot better through the manhwa that like Shibisu, like he leads this team, and it's kind of like it's his job,
Which is ironic too,
and
because
he takes it
Shibisu's
seriously at
yeah,
times.
he's such a regular guy too.
Yeah, and that's cool, and I think that's what makes him shine as a character.
I'm
The fact
surprised,
he can
like,
lock in.
yeah, someone like in Dorsey or even a Knock, right? Like the two
Hmm.
powerhouses, maybe even Hots too. Like these people aren't vying to be leader; they're letting him lead. It's like
Yeah, with
very
such a strong
surprising.
team, Shibisu was able to take the lead.
Yeah. But either way, here we find out in Dorsey, kind of made an agreement with them, but she kind of lied. And here she's like, all right, you know what? I'm going to find Juvial Grace, obviously using Emily. So here we find out in Fug, oh my god, and Josh has in her regular clothes.
They'll never have anyone
Sad,
wear different clothes, man.
sad,
It's so
man.
sad.
But here Reflejo, like, Reflejo's like, what are you doing?
He's
Where is
pissed.
he? And she's like, oh, I listened to him. He told me to leave him alone. See, we have two sort of factions, right? And I like how they're kind of showing that in the anime as well. They're showing like, okay, there's the side that likes Bomb and listens to him, or in this sense, I'll say Juvial agrees because that's how they know him, right? There's a side that likes Viol that listens to him, and then there's the side that wants Viol, and they'll listen to him within reason, but at the end of the day, they work for him versus they work under him, right?
Hmm.
Reflejo is like, oh, like you work for us. Whereas Jaja is like, I work under you. Like she will listen to Bomb. Reflejo will listen to Bomb to an extent, but he's more like, listen, this is what Fug wants, not what you want. Jaja is like,
Hmm.
oh, I'm doing what you want. Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Very important thing with Fug, yeah.
Yeah.
How they kind of fight with each other every once in a while.
Yeah. And here we still have Rand and Novik here, and Rand just looks a hell of a ton better in the manhwa as always. And
Hmm.
Rand's like, hey, we're running out of time. What are we doing? And then Yuto is still being pretty hidden here. So Yuto, they don't really show as much. They
Hmm.
show them a little bit more in the anime, but not much because they still have like the mask or whatever. But and then here we see who's outside. Again, I think this looks nice. Anime did this way better. Anime made this way more
I
epic just
wouldn't
with the
say
visuals.
way better, but
I
yeah, they did
I
do it
think it's
better.
way better visually. Like visually speaking, it still has the same energy, but the glow and just the details and I think this was done great, man. I don't know.
Yeah, they did do it well.
I think
I'll give them
visually it
credit.
looks way better in the anime. Like again, it doesn't look bad in the manhwa, but look at this shit. Like it looks so much more detailed. It looks better. Like oh my god, this is what I wish every scene looked like. But
Yeah.
here she's pissed. Like here she looks more angry in the anime. She looks more just like whatever. Like she's like, oh
Yeah.
whatever, I gotta do this.
I like the way they did her eyes though, like the little glow on the eyes, the glare.
Yeah, like the
The
lighting
like
is so
that looks really
good.
good.
The lighting was so fucking good here. Oh my god.
Hmm.
But either way, we'll go to the next chapter here. Anok's looking down.
There it is
So
again.
there's something that I'm noticing, right? Anok looks very I don't know how to say it without maybe sounding wrong, but Anok looks very unchildlike in the
Mm,
manhwa. She looks very like I don't want to say ugly, but she looks not how she looks in the anime. In the anime, she's more feminine esque, right?
I see.
She's
Yeah.
more childlike in the anime. In the manhwa, she's a lot more like not only serious but less childlike, if that makes sense. Obviously, body wise, she's still the same, but here we're seeing they're posted up. They're hunting Fug. Fug knows they're there, and we're getting a little bit of extra. Oh no, never mind. That's Kasano. I thought that was someone else.
Hmm.
So it looks like Kasano took some people out, which I don't think I caught in the anime here. Yeah, no, in the anime he's like sitting somewhere you think he's alone brooding. Here it looks like he beat up some fuckers. But basically everything is like, oh, we're gonna start at 100 tickets. Every side is like, we're gonna do it then. And here they're like, yeah, what are we doing? She's not doing anything. What do we do? And Raphael was like, God fucking damn it. We have nothing. We're doing nothing. And they're kind of like, okay, what do we do? We're waiting for Viol. And then they're asking, oh, what happens if he doesn't come, right? And then Raphael's like, oh, okay, wait, he says something completely different here. What?
Yeah.
So in the anime, they make him a lot more of a villain. They're like,
A
oh,
lot more threatening.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill everyone. Here he's like, we'll just get past her. That is actually an
We'll have
extreme
to get past it. It
change.
makes it seem like he needs assistance. Like he won't just be him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what
Like
the
he needs the
fuck?
team to work together.
Here
Whereas
he's
like
like, go ahead.
yeah. Okay, I was gonna say like in the anime it seems like he seems to imply that he's a lot stronger in the anime, whereas in the manhwa he seems like more of like middling strength, where it's like, hey guys, we have to get past it. Not like I'm gonna kill everyone, by myself.
Yeah, so one thing I've noticed with Reflejo that they're kind of doing is the fact that In the manhwa, he seems a lot more calm. In the anime,
Hmm.
he's a lot more aggressive. Like, he's
Yeah,
a
he
lot
has a
more
bit more of a short
emotional.
temper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a lot more emotional, which is not a good thing according to his character. I think in the manhwa it does it better because he's more
Hmm.
like it takes time to really unravel who Reflejo is. The anime, he's
Hmm.
kind of just jumping the gun with some stuff. Anyway, here we have the robot coming. You know, they're introducing each other. Oh, who am I? Who is this? Bomb tells his name, and this is an important part here. Bomb does tell him he's the 25th Bomb, not Jovial Grace here.
Hmm.
And
His
then they're
name means
like,
chestnut.
yeah. Yeah, his name has
That's what it
different
says
meanings.
there. He said that it was tasty.
Yeah, so again, this is where you always get more detail in the manhwa, but Bomb's name means two things. Number one, it means knight, and two, it does mean chestnut. So, as always, manhwa gives you more. But here we find out Traveler is basically a simp for someone in the workshop battle who they're giving away at the end as a prize. I wonder who it is. We don't know who.
Hmm.
But either way, here the robot comes in. Sadly, we don't see the claymore, but this looks kind of cool the way they're doing it in the manhwa. I like the way they did it here. I think a little bit more than they did in the anime because it's a lot more colorful, I would say, too.
Hmm.
And there's a lot more of an aura with, like, oh, you just see the robot's light, like, shining from the dark of the door that it just cut down. The explosion happens. Sadly, you know, this is the part the anime should have gotten right. I think the manhwa did it better, especially with the lighting, the coloring. But the robot, you know, nothing happened. It didn't do shit, and it looks fucking epic. By the way, this thing looks like a killing machine.
Yeah.
But here we see the Traveler likes it. Bomb doesn't, and the Traveler's first instinct is to run away. Bomb's like, "Oh, I gotta deal with this, right?" The Bomb's running towards it, and then something happens. Oh, the ceiling cracks open, and look, Endorsi comes down way fucking cooler. Not fucking
Hmm.
T posing or doing anything, but Endorsi
Gun
comes
in
down.
hand.
Yup, with the
You see the
Glocky.
hair up too as she's falling.
Yeah, it's actually like she's falling down. So,
Yeah.
and then we see Bomb is like, "Oh my god, it's in Dorsey," and we kind of have to stop there because that's where they ended it. So,
Hmm.
not really much changing of pacing or anything. They just got through it quickly. Obviously, they had to cut details, but I don't
Yeah.
think they flipped anything around from the normal scheduling of things.
Yep. Yeah, we nitpicked a little bit there, but yeah, I think they did a good job in terms of adapting stuff.
Yeah. I think the Anak thing was the best thing. That shit got me so fucking hyped, man. Like,
Yeah,
oh my
big
god.
highlight. That was part of the reason why I was really upset that the episode ended. I was like, no, like we have to see what's happening. Anok's still standing there, guys. Now we gotta wait for a week.
Yeah, the next episode better go fucking crazy, man. Because now that we're in part two, and again, we have the Bandai Namco seal on them, we
Hmm.
gotta see how the fights are gonna go now. We gotta see if they're just ripping them and putting them in the opening, but we also have to see if they're gonna be better. So
Hmm.
next week is a big test episode, man. We
Yeah.
really gotta see, but
So if you're coping right now, keep it up.
keep
You
it
still
up.
got time.
You got some gas in the tank left before we take it away, but
Hmm.
either way, yeah, this episode was good. I liked it. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't the best one ever because, you know, it's
Yeah.
Tower of God. We have expectations and they're somewhat meaningless. But overall, I'll just reiterate, like I said before, the overall average, I think, has gone up on most things. There's less mistakes. There's still some, and obviously there's difference between the manhwa where most of the time the manhwa was better. But there's some specific times, like the Anak thing, where I think they actually did it better than the manhwa. So overall, a little better than usual. So I'm excited. What about you, Adrian? What are you feeling?
Yep, I agree. Funny that the thing they did the best was a still panel where
Yeah.
Nox just standing there.
Yeah,
If she was
listen.
moving, it would have been done worse. But
Yeah,
hey,
I don't think they could do fights well anyway, but that's
yeah,
my position on what's
show
gonna
me the
happen next
movement,
week.
guys. Let me see those
No,
frames.
no, the frames, no. But yeah,
All
either
right,
way,
yeah.
that's gonna be it for us. We hope everyone enjoyed, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.